Botswana, southern Africa. At the end of the dry season, a pride of lions has mastered a hunting technique few others would even attempt. Africa's biggest super predator regularly takes down the largest land mammal on the planet.
How do they do it? What are the risks and the rewards? We're here to find out, to be the lion, and experience their unique behavior in this particular place at this particular time.
Be an insider in the creature world. That's the mission. The Kratts brothers, dropped in remote regions to live with the creatures, through their eyes, on their turf, by their rules. Be the creature.
Look out, they're backing up. That one is just hanging on. Oh, boy. Come on, guy, you can go this way. Get out that way. Get out, buddy. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. This was a first. We've been creature adventuring for years, but I'd never imagined witnessing the events unfolding on the ground in the Chobe region of Botswana.
We're here in Africa, where the lion affects nearly everybody's life. Lions have influenced what creatures evolve into. They change creature behaviors. And basically, if you're larger than a rabbit, you are on the lion's hit list. That's what we're headed for, like all the animals, that water hole. It's so dry out here, you have to make a trip to the water hole at least every day, and the lions know it, so they wait there in ambush. So we're on a mission to understand the creaturality of the lion and find out how the lion has muscled its way into the lives of African creatures. All right, time to touch down and enter the world of the lion.
All right. Our truck. It would help us keep up with the lions. Plus, it was our only protection, making us appear less like prey.
Keys are here.
The dry season here can last up to 9 months, and only 3 small water holes support all the wildlife within a 20-mile radius. Lions take advantage of this time and this place. The pride that we're looking for is only one in the world who regularly kills elephants. They shouldn't be far from this water hole. We have to keep our eyes peeled because there could be some lions around here. Lions. That elephant showed us exactly where the lions were. In the shade here, getting out of that hot sun. Wow. We just found a large pride of lions that took down a 5 or 6-year-old elephant. They've probably been sitting on this carcass for about a day now. The lion, built for hunting, those eyes focused and cold, 2-inch canines, ripping claws, and a muscle-bound up to 500-pound body. This here is Africa's largest land predator and the most social of all the big cats. Lions live in a matrilineal society. That means at the core of the pride is the female lineage. It's a pride full of daughters, mothers, aunts, cousins. When males become adult and mature, they leave their natal pride and start one of their own. Hey, all right, there are 2 cubs. They look about 5 months old. Now, cubs don't get preferential treatment at the kill. It's tough love. They have to fight for a spot and usually have to wait until the bigger lions are done. And here come the big boys. A coalition of 2 adult males. One right here, another further back. Working together to defend their position on top. Everybody clears out when the big males come. The cubs didn't have much luck getting in for a bite of meat, so they're nursing instead. They'll nurse for about 15 minutes every day. The sun's setting. You can feel them getting more active.
That commotion startled the mom and her nursing cubs. But the cubs are back to it, and the mom is keeping a watchful eye. In the rough and tumble of the pride, cubs can easily get hurt.
There are now 13 lions here. But pride members come and go as they please, so we're still not sure exactly how big our pride is. Moonlight's taking over, and the lions are on the move. All but one male heading off for a drink, but someone else is lurking in the shadows. You can't hear them, but suddenly you see their silhouette. And boom, there they are, jackals. They hang around the edge, waiting for their chance to sneak in and grab a bite before the lions see them. The last lion left the carcass, and the jackals move in to feast. Jackals are one of the only animals that really benefits from lions. Lions make a kill, jackals come in and clean up the scraps. Oh, elephants! It's dangerous for the elephants moving through this thick mopani, because that's where the lions hide and wait. This elephant is standing right over the remains. These are intelligent and emotional animals. Elephants really think about their dead. They know when another elephant has died. Elephants will travel 50 miles through this dry, dusty landscape to find water. The journey is difficult, the conditions harsh. When they arrive, they're tired, thirsty, and a little more vulnerable. We knew the waterhole was key to the lion's hunting strategy, so we had to get to know it. It's all bulls right now, Chris. So there are two types of elephant herds. The breeding herds with the mothers and the babies, and the bachelor herds with the adult males. These are bachelors, and they dominate the waterhole. A bull elephant like him can weigh as much as 12,000 pounds. That makes him the heaviest land mammal in the world. When they're about 12 or 13 years old, bull elephants hit puberty and start getting a little rowdy. That's when the females of the maternal herds drive them away. They strike out on their own to live in bachelor herds. All right, Impala. Come on in, guys. These Impala head to the waterhole very cautiously to try to find a spot where there are no elephants. They clear out of there.
But you can never forget that the waterhole that gives life to so many during the dry season can also be deadly.
Like a gang of thugs, the pride moved in, closing in on the waterhole. It's too much for the Impala. But the elephant's sticking to his guns. 13 lions coming to drink with one elephant. Those are some thirsty lions. Each will drink about 2 gallons of water a day. Pound for pound, this whole pride together weighs about half as much as a single bull elephant. And a healthy elephant can use his trunk, tusks, and weight to protect himself. Both these creatures can hurt each other, and both know it. The lions got their drink just in time because a big bull elephant is arriving. More and more elephants are going to start showing up here, and the lions cannot get in when the waterhole is crowded with bull elephants. So now the lions are heading off to the shade. Lions sleep 20 hours a day. Most of their activity is at night, so we need to get on lion time. All right, we're making the transition into the nocturnal lifestyle. With their bellies full, the lions could be out in the brush anywhere, lying down, digesting their meals. So best way to find them now, keep our ears open in case we hear them roaring anywhere. And look for tracks as we drive along, plus Chris is spotlighting for eye shine. If you hold the light right next to your eyes, the light will bounce off the tapetum, a back layer of the eyeball, and bounce right back at you. That's called eye shine. Ah, a spotted hyena.
The night seemed endless. We were so tired and wondered if we'd ever find the lions again.
Hear that? Where's that roar coming from? Hear that? That's Linus, off on her own. She's trying to locate the pride. She's listening for any clues as to where other members of her pride are. Now she calls, hoping to get an answer. That is a lion roar. He does it to tell all the other lions that this is his turf. He's doing it with extra oomph because he's right with the mating female. That's probably why she's off on her own.
Martin, she's up.
Okay. When a female comes into estrus, she leaves the pride followed by the male. They spend a few days or about a week together, mating continually, and then they return to the pride. But it doesn't look like they're quite ready to mate yet. Oh, it got their attention. Hey, right, so we're not too bad. Hey, buddy.
She's all yours. That night, we never did find the rest of the pride. But after 2 more night stakeouts, we had a beat on them. And now we were better adjusted to nocturnal living.
3 p.m., and it's time to get active. Oh, well, that was an okay day's sleep. And ready or not, it's night 4. And it could be pretty good. That cloud cover is going to cause the early part of the night to be very dark. The moon will come up later, and that's great for the lions because they like to hunt under the cover of complete darkness.
The lions hadn't killed since our first day. They'd be hungry, staking out the water hole.
We're staked out by the waterhole with the elephants. The pride is in a dense scrub 130 feet away. We're going to use one of the lions' hunting tactics, the ambush, and try to turn it around on them. And maybe these lions will come to us.
You gotta have a lot of patience when you wait in ambush like a lion.
Yeah, they seem to have all the time in the world.
I gotta stretch. We should do a lion search, though.
Where's the light? Oh, clear.
It's kind of dangerous to do this, but sometimes the cramps just hurt too much.
Chris, they're here. Get back in. Get in.
Wow, I didn't even hear her coming.
Hey, Chris, right here. Coming right towards us. Start the car up, Chris. Start it. Go, Chris. He's following. They should be hungry now.
It's been 4 days since we know they had a last meal, and that was the elephant right around here. So maybe they're back where they were successful before, ready to give it another go.
The lions are on the move. They're heading into the brush where we heard sounds of the elephants.
Wow. There's more. 23, 24, 25 lions. This must be the whole pride.
You can tell this pride is hungry and ready to hunt.
Oh, yeah.
The elephants are passing in front. Maybe this is the beginning of a hunt.
Oh yeah, they've heard something, Chris.
Two are up.
Let's go.
They stashed their cubs in the bush. That means they're definitely hunting.
The lions are closing in on the elephants.
Do you see them? Yeah, to the right. They're heading off. Oh, yeah, there they are. Got them, got them. Yeah, they're going. They're into the brush. Off here. Hang on. Yep. Do you hear that, son? Elephants screaming. Oh, there they are. They're after an elephant. Go, Chris, go. They're jumping on him. They're jumping on him. Look at this cloud of dust. Look. The mom's trying to protect her calf.
They've got him. There's nothing she can do.
The pride just took down a young elephant. The mother tried to protect him, but couldn't. There are just way too many lions. They work as a team. These cats kill by strangulation. You can see a bunch of lions went straight for the throat and neck to cut off breathing pathway. And another lioness is holding on to the trunk, cutting off yet another breathing pathway. This is hard to watch. This is really hard to watch. It's a brutal scene, but it's the way nature works. This poor calf is taking way too long to die. I'm torn in two directions. I'm sad for the elephant. I love elephants, and to see a baby elephant killed is rough. On the other hand, I'm in awe of the lion's power and the way 300-pound lions mount up together to be able to topple an elephant, the largest land mammal. But it's just, you know,
This is life at its rawest.
the calf isn't struggling anymore. Finally, the calf is dead. You said 10 of 6?
Who's that?
Oh, a lioness. They waited till the end of the night to make the kill. We're now 2 hours after that point. The sun's coming up, and a large part of that elephant has been eaten. Life is good for this pride now, really good. But if tough times should come, the entire pride could disintegrate within a matter of months. If these lions don't make kills regularly, these two cubs will die of starvation.
Yeah.
With these kind of predators, it's from meal to meal a struggle for survival. It was now clear that the pride targeted the breeding herd. Our next step in fully understanding these unique elephant hunters was figuring out exactly how they single out their prey.
breeding herd's moving in, desperate for water. Look how quickly they move, and so tightly packed together. Now that is all behavior that is in direct response to the threat of predation by lions. In fact, it might be lion predation that caused this whole breeding herd structure to evolve in the first place. Because those calves are vulnerable, but in a tightly packed group filled with the larger adults, it will be much harder for the lions to get it in.
This calf has to fight his way in to get a drink. For a lion, getting through those legs is difficult, if not impossible. So part of their strategy must be separating the calf from the herd. They're starting to leave.
The breeding herd's leaving. They filled up on the water. They decide they're gonna go that way. Now this is dangerous.
The lions could be out there in the Mapani scrub.
And these elephants have to get through there somehow. And it's a gamble. They may pick the right path, they may pick the wrong path. One female elephant and 3 calves of different years. Any one of them could be a target.
But not tonight. The lions are still full from last night's kill, and I'm starving. There we go. What are we having for dinner, Chris? Dehydrated food, I guess. Night 5, 10 p.m. by the waterhole. A herd of bull elephants are in for a drink, and so are our pride of lions. Having feasted on that calf for over 24 hours, packing away as much as 90 pounds of meat each, these lions are thirsty.
This is unbelievable. The lions have now joined the elephants at the waterhole. Both species are uneasy, and I can't believe that the young male brought one of the elephants' feet to eat here at the watering hole with other elephants. The elephants rule the waterhole. And the lions have to be on their toes because these elephants could easily squash them, gore them, or trample them. It's an uneasy truce brought about by the need for water. Whoa, all right, they're moving off now. They've had their fill of water now, too. Now it's definitely sleep time.
So we'd have to wait until they hunted again to learn the secret of how the lions get past the protection of the mother and the herd and get to the vulnerable young.
So we had a little free time. Over here, there's a hole. Check this out.
A termite hole?
Yeah.
Underneath us, on this savanna, underground, there are so many harvester termites. They're serious little herbivores, packing away what could be more grass than all of the elephants, the giraffe, the impala combined. Look, Martin, a spider.
All right, cool.
Whoa, a spider's got a termite. He's riding it like a bucking bronco, trying to hang on to the termite. The termite's trying to get away. This is a lot like a lion attack in miniature. The termite's trying to get into the hole, but the spider's not letting him. Oh, the spider's trying to keep him out of there. Oh, and the termite gets away. The spider lets go. Where's the spider?
We lost track of the spider.
Where did he go?
But by night 7, we'd reconnected with our lion pride.
Chris, they're stretching. They're getting up.
I don't know if I don't remember hearing anything, but I just kind of wanted to look for some reason.
Hey, they're moving. They're going. They're going.
Yeah, they're going. There's a calf.
I'm going, Chris. I'm going.
Straight ahead, yep, straight.
Whoa, big hole. Watch it. Hang on. Okay, here, I'm gonna get you in. You got it?
Oh, a lion left. Right through the bushes. Oh, he left. He's on his back. Yep, straight ahead, yeah. Whoa. Yep.
Wait, no, they're slowing. They got away. They've stopped. So night 7 begins with an unsuccessful first attempt.
More than 2/3 of lion hunts fail. Now they must be getting hungry.
Night 7. After missing that elephant, the young male was eyeing us again.
He always comes close. The young male is probably about 3 years old. That young male's one you gotta watch.
He could be dangerous.
Day after day, he continued to push the limits.
Ooh, here comes the male.
It'd be so easy for them to jump onto this truck. It's not even as high as the back of an elephant.
But hopefully he won't, because we're in this truck, which is our anti-predator defense. He sees the truck and doesn't see us as prey. He sees this truck as a strange thing that he doesn't want to eat. That's why we have to crouch really low. But if we were to step out, we're just another creature in their size zone, and they can become a predator in the instant.
Here's another side of the lion's creaturality.
The playful side of the lions is amazing. They are incredibly social. Oh, the cub's gonna get sneak attacked on you. Play is part of a lion's nature. You could say that it's all about the hunt and preparing for the hunt. But looking at these two cubs playing, they're having fun. And fun is something that is not exclusively human. Whoa. That's big.
You know, seeing them hunt, you can't help but wonder if hunting and killing is actually fun for a lion. We think it's fun to play a sport. Maybe they think it's fun to kill.
Yeah, and soon these cubs will start learning the elephant hunting technique we're trying to understand. Wow.
Oh, look at that lion stalking the elephant. Messing with him.
She knows he's too big. Pretty confident elephant to turn his back, especially because lions are always looking for opportunities.
Oh, I can't believe those lioness are testing the huge bulls. It's almost like they want to go, but it's just a little too big.
This bull is healthy, but if he were sick, he'd be fair game.
Oh, now the lion's going up behind him. The male's going up behind him. It's that same young male.
Lions have all kinds of hunting strategies.
The stalk and chase is one of the favorite hunting strategies of the lions.
And you know, it's not easy to stalk up to one of these antelope.
No way. It takes skill, it takes physical prowess, and it takes a lot of patience.
I gotta try it. So that you don't have to stop, I'm just gonna slip out. A lion usually has to get within 30 feet of her prey before it's worth it to pounce. The lion slowly advances towards its prey. The antelope hasn't noticed anyone yet. You've got to be really quiet and freeze when the prey looks up.
He saw me. He sounded the alarm call.
This time, neither the lion nor Chris could get close enough. Wow. It's easy to see predators as the bad guys, but this is a hard way to make a living, and it's one of the reasons predators can easily die of starvation. Night 10. After many nights without a successful hunt, we knew these lions were getting really hungry.
We still hope to see how these lions were able to separate elephant calves from their protective herds.
Everybody's playing, cheek rubbing, and heading off to hunt.
Martin, a spring hare. She's going after the hare. Oh yeah, she's gonna go for it.
going.
Oh, the other one. She got him.
The spring hare got away from the lioness that was chasing him, but jumped straight into the jaws and paws of this young lioness.
This is a pretty good snack for one lion, but there are 24 mouths to feed.
Just before midnight, and suddenly things get serious.
One lioness had captured a spring hare, but tonight's hunting was just beginning.
All right, they are really heading off. We better get going. This has the feeling of the other night. They're going, man, go.
Can you go faster? See if you can get through that opening.
Small brush, look out!
Oh, whoa, it's the mom, she's turning.
Got it, got it. It's that way, to the right.
I don't know, they're going around behind her too. She can't keep them off. I think the calf's down. They got another one.
They got another elephant.
And the mom put up such a defense, but it was too much.
But that mother and the rest of the herd were defending fiercely.
Oh, she was really fighting. She was fighting so hard. She had a whole wall of lions blocked off and throwing her tusks around. I could see the tusks gleaming in the headlights.
Yeah, but this pride has too many lions. I mean, she could only drive off so many, and the others were probably going around again.
They were, while we were watching that mom fighting off, I think all the others were on top of the calf in the back.
Yeah, numbers are part of the secret. Some distract, others kill. Only a large pride can do this.
Lions are killing machines, from spring hares to elephants. We saw it in one night, from the smallest to the largest.
Shine the light on that.
It's a mouse. Chris, we're gonna have to revise our prey range. Now it's the size of a mouse to an elephant. Oh, yep, he got it.
I don't know if I want to watch an elephant getting eaten again.
Well, they killed early tonight, so now they'll sleep. We can get some rest.
Yeah.
What time is it anyway? Who knows? The moon's up, that's all I know.
I think it's midnight.
When the lions eat and sleep, we know they're not going to be moving much. We can get some sleep. It's the only chance for us to catch any shut-eye. Being a lion is grueling. It really is hard to make the adjustment, both emotionally from seeing all these elephant calves getting killed, and also physically. Our sleep patterns are so messed up.
"36 hours later, we were shocked to find that the lions had killed again.
Oh my God, there's a dead elephant.
2 elephants in 2 nights.
Another one down.
That makes 4 that we know of.
Now they'd surely rest and feast for at least a night, or so we thought. But the next morning, the lions have abandoned this carcass and left it to the jackals and the vultures.
Remember when they were eating the fatty feet? They're leaving that now, moving over to the other kill.
The lions had left their tracks in the sand. We followed them.
Do you see him again? Yep, here we go.
You got him?
Yep, one of them anyway. Okay, they're right along this path. Walking right along it.
Okay.
Actually, let's not get too split up though. I have to be really careful because we're right behind these lions. They were here this morning. This guy's moving right here. Boom, boom. Nice and slow and easy. Right down this elephant path.
These tracks led us to yet another kill. 3 elephants in 3 nights. The lions were now killing at will. The pattern of 1 elephant every 2 or 3 nights, obliterated.
As far as we could tell, the basic elephant hunting strategy was this. Wait in ambush near the waterhole.
Target a breeding herd that was smaller, weaker, and less cautious than others.
Split the pride. Some distract the mother, others attack the victim.
We had to stick with the pride like flies on rotting meat because we'd only seen glimpses of the hunt, and understanding life as this predator meant witnessing the hunt in its entirety.
But when I get there, he's clearing them all out.
Yeah, with males twice the weight of females, no one's gonna argue with him.
Clear out everybody. There's the power. That's strange. The cub is allowed to eat, but everybody else isn't. It's not supposed to be that way. The cubs are supposed to be the last to eat. They can't get any more of this. They're heading out to make a kill.
They're going straight to the water hole, and there are breeding herds in. They're in danger. The pride of lions have just been chased off the kill by a coalition male, and they're heading straight for the water hole. One of the breeding herds is leaving. They're sniffing the air, smelling the danger.
Good luck out there.
Oh, that cat looks nervous, like he doesn't know what to do.
Oh, he's joining that big bull. Is he looking for protection?
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, he looks so confused and scared. Who's that?
That must be one of his relatives. Maybe his mom. Joining up with the bull?
They're going. They're going for it. We gotta go, Martin. Let's go.
All right,
They're picking up the pace.
The bull is peeling off now. He's letting those two just go on their own.
It's down to 2. There they are. There they are. They're in the bushes.
Go that way.
In the bushes over there.
See, they've separated the calf. He's alone.
They're wearing him down. This is brutal. They're just wearing him down now. Oh. The weight. Oh, this is brutal. Now they're going. Oh, good fight. He's fighting back. He's doing his best. Oh.
Martin, can you watch my back? I hear something.
Coalition male. Okay, he's okay. He's putting up such a good fight, but the numbers are too much. 1,200 pounds on his back right there. His little legs are standing strong. That's tiring his legs out. The longer the lion stays on top, they're just waiting for him to trip up. Just wait. Oh, and now more. Get on him.
This little guy, he got separated.
That one is just hanging on. Oh, boy. Come on, guy, you can go this way. Get out that way. Get out that way. Get out, buddy. You can do it. You can do it.
Oh, one of the hardest things to do as a creature adventurer is not interfere sometimes.
Oh my gosh. The hordes are after him. Oh man, he's fighting hard.
Look out for this lion, Martin.
Okay. Oh, he's down.
Now it's over.
Sheer exhaustion toppled him in the end.
He fought a valiant fight, that guy. He really did good. I wanted to help that elephant. I wanted to get away. We held him off for a long time.
And the crazy thing was, they were just eating a calf.
Having empathy for their prey is definitely not one of the emotions that lions have.
No, when they're hunting, if anything, they enjoy it. They are designed and programmed to hunt, catch, and kill.
Yeah. Predator, prey, it happens all over the creature world.
And I think the reason it's so shocking for us is we've distanced ourselves so far from it as humans.
Yeah.
We never see the killing that goes into our food, but this is basically what it is for virtually every species.
Yeah.
This is a big part of creature adventuring, the truth, seeing the truth about nature. We can't sugarcoat it. This is the way lions survive. This is what you do when you are a lion.
Yep.
How did we get in here?
I don't know.
Stuck here. Doesn't it smell like rain? This could turn into something big.
The rainy season.
It's here.
Oh, here it comes.
Here it comes now with a veg. Oh, no.
This transition from the dry season to the rainy season will affect the hunting focus of the lions as they switch from one prey species to the next. The water holes in surrounding areas will start filling up. Elephants will not have to come to these few water sources anymore. And the grasses will green up so that new prey species will move in, like zebra, to feed on the grass. Woo, it's pelting down.
This expedition was about the biggest look at a predator-prey relationship you can get. But creatures all over the planet participate in the same kind of relationship in one way or another.
And nature allows for both predator and prey to survive within this system. For now, the elephants deserve a much-needed break.
What a pride. We'll have to come back.
See you later, guys.
Well, our last night with the lions was a great one.
It was amazing. The whole time we spent with this pride, phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. The only good thing about leaving is getting back to sleeping at night.
That's right.